Welcome to the Wednesday workshop. This is for Wednesday, August 10th. Actually, today's not August 10th. We had a little technical difficulty and that workshop was not recorded, so it's being retaped right now. Have you ever wondered why the 80-20 principle doesn't seem to apply in real estate? This is a relatively universal idea that suggests that 20% of the agents should be doing 80% of the business. Yet the reality is closer to maybe 5% doing 80% of the business. Do you think market share may have something to do with that? Have you ever asked yourself, how did these agents acquire so much market share? And how can I grow mine? Good questions. Today, let's create some answers. Sound good? Right now, we know something's changed in the market, but we're not sure what. I know we've got agents out there feeling fear and fearing change. What they're not doing is doing. I see a big opportunity, but with a very small window. What's the opportunity? The ability to take market share. Let me share this with you. It's vitally important. Market share gained is very difficult to lose. I'm going to say that again. Market share gained is very difficult to lose. What does that mean? It means when you go out and you expand your market, you expand your reach. You enlarge the group of people who see you as the local expert. You gain market share, and it's very, very difficult for someone to take it away from you. Which probably has you thinking right about now, okay, but if it's so very difficult to lose, how am I going to take it from someone else, right? That's where the opportunity lies. Now, what's the window? The end of the year. In other words, about 18 weeks. Real estate is a tough business. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes it's easier than others, though. Would you agree? For the past 2 years, at least, real estate has required, let's just say, not as much effort. Matter of fact, if you think about it, we've been in a seller's market for a lot longer than that. Now we have agents out there that are feeling fear and fearing change. We also have agents who still haven't pulled back from the hyper-exuberant market that ended months ago. I know them by the pricing that they still allow their poorly informed clients to dictate. You see that, right? Add to which we're now in our traditional slow period for agents. Lots of agents and lots of clients on vacation. Most are probably looking for a little pop in the market come fall, and I think that will happen. But shortly after that, we enter the holiday season. By the time of Halloween parties, most agents, they peer out there and they can see Thanksgiving. And really, that starts the unofficial 8-week holiday that seems to be enjoyed by most people in our field. You know what I'm talking about, right? Now, what happens next is interesting. Agents show back up in January. In case you're wondering if this is being filmed live, it is. Agents show up in January with a massive real estate hangover. They have no pipeline because they haven't worked for a couple of months. It's kind of funny, actually. You hear agents say, oh, December is a slow month. The slowest month of the year is normally late January into February. You know why? Because no one was working in November and December. So, when you combine the agents who are still letting clients price them in the past with the agents coming out of at least 2 years of bad habits, along with the agents who are fearing change but not doing anything, plus the agents who are on vacation, and combine all of that with the agents who are about to go on an 8-week hiatus, it adds up to a whole lot of people not protecting their market share. So this new market right now, it looks an awful lot like some old ones that I know from more than 10 years ago. And those willing to actually work are going to gain market share. But like I said, the window is small. These agents will come back in January to an empty pipeline. The real estate hangover, and it'll be killing them. And the good ones are going to get back to work. So we have between now and December 31st, about 18 weeks, allowing for a little holiday time, to take market share before they come to and realize what's happened. That's our new mini year. Exactly 12 10-day months. Every 10 days is a month. And we're going to have 10-day goals, and we're going to hit them hard. Now, like that said in that movie, this is a time to get medieval, right? This is time to go old school. I want you to realize and recognize that no matter how many different passive lead generation strategies you have, every single day of this mini year, we're going to have active lead generation. Every single day, you have to talk to somebody in your database. Every single day, you must talk to somebody you've never met. Every single day, you must follow up on old leads. Every single day, our focus is to take market share. Now, if you accept this challenge, if you take the Pepsi challenge, you're going to go into next year with a pipeline that's full and a tank full of momentum. Most importantly, though, you'll increase market share. That doesn't actually translate into more commissions. That translates into an increase in salary. Why do I say salary? Because market share gained, say it together, is very difficult to lose. It's a lot more like salary than it is commission. The only real question is, what are you willing to do? Not everyone has what it takes to do what it takes. This is the time to find out. This is the time to change the trajectory and the velocity of your business. This is the time to commit. Now, would specific action steps help you right now? Good, because that's the rest of today's workshop. Please allow me to introduce, to those of you who haven't met yet, the law of few things. The law of few things says that for anything that's truly important that you want to be successful at or you want to achieve, there's never more than 3 things that you actually have to do well. When I was first taught this, it wasn't even in a sales workshop. Come to think of it, I don't remember what the workshop was, but this stuck with me. The leader said, for example, if you want to be a good father, there's only 3 things you have to do. You have to provide, you have to create boundaries so that there's discipline, and you have to give your children love, which they spell T-I-M-E. That's it. Those 3 things, everything else falls in place. I started paying attention, and I saw that that's almost a universal law, the law of few things. Almost anything worth having or doing in this life comes down to 3 things. So where am I leading with this? Of course, how are we going to be good in real estate, in sales in general, but in real estate? There's only 3 things that actually matter. The first one is, how many conversations are you having? You have to talk to enough people. The second one is, what's your dialogue? Are you saying the right thing at the right time? And the third one is follow-up. You have a follow-up system that is legendary. Now, the conversations is the most important part of that, and we're going to come to that, but I want to work the list from the bottom up. So we'll finish with the most important part. Fair? Let's start with the follow-up system. This is the only time generally that I would talk about this first and rank something higher than live conversations. Why? Because a well-run CRM will generate most of your business going forward. And it's doing the work for you. So what needs to be in a CRM? You might be surprised to find out there's only 3 things necessary. The first is, do you have everybody in there? Everyone that you have information on needs to be in there and properly tagged. The second step is the drip campaign, the action plan actually turned on. It could be once a month. It could be 2 or 3 times a month. That's a personal preference, but is something going out and keeping you top of mind. Finally, and by far most importantly, are you making quarterly contact? This is where we get to, I believe it's almost a 98% fail rate in sales. A lot of people have their contacts in a CRM. Not as many, but quite a few have an action plan. But very few are systematically staying in contact live. Be a phone call, a drop by with a door knock, taking them to coffee or lunch. Okay. The seriousness of this, right? This is how important a CRM is right now, especially going into this mini year. If you're not at 100% in your CRM, stop. Right? Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Don't even get out of your PJs. Get this done. This is the basis of everything else you do. All right. Next item as we move up through those three things that matter is dialogues. Confidence dialogues, as I call them. Let me ask you a question. If you always knew what to say, would you be more confident when you talk to people? Yes or yes? When I hear dialogues, I hear people say, oh, I don't want to memorize that. That doesn't sound like me. I know. That's the point. Let me let you in on a little secret. There's no such thing as a natural salesperson. Just like there's no such thing as a natural athlete. Sure, some people are born with more skills, but to become good at what you do, to become great, requires nonstop practice of your skills. And in sales, dialogues are your skill set. Now, to be perfectly honest, not knowing your dialogues is, to me, like a pro basketball player not practicing free throws. What is that? To practice free throws doesn't require a coach, right? Doesn't require a team or a stadium. Doesn't even require a basketball court. Just a basket and a ball. That a professional basketball player wouldn't practice to the point of being very, very good, it is almost kind of insulting, isn't it? I mean, that could make the difference between winning and losing a game or a championship. And you couldn't be bothered? Learning dialogues is a lot like that. So how do we get good? What do you want to bet that there are three things that matter? You're seeing the theme now, aren't you? First, you memorize. You have to do a dialogue 100 times in a row. The faster you can do it, the better. As you're doing it faster and faster, it's not the way we would communicate to anyone else, but you're literally training your mouth to say the words. So first you memorize it. Then you internalize it. We internalize by doing role play. Role play isn't a place for memorizing scripts. Role play is where you go learn how to roll with the punches, have the other person say things you didn't expect, and you use that time to get back to the script. You become good at utilizing the script from inside you. This is also when you begin to sound more and more natural. The script begins to sound like you. Finally, you customize. Customize happens in real life repetition. Sometimes something comes up and you have to change the script to another one, or a new line pops into your head. That's fantastic. We've just written a new script. Customization happens in real life, but it only happens after we memorize and internalize. Then you customize. So many agents want to start out by customizing. All right, that takes us to the number one, top of the mountain, single most important aspect of becoming great in real estate, and for us, the key to gaining market share: conversations. What are the three things required for conversations? First, we need to know exactly who we're going to be talking to. Second, we need to be prepared. Pre-printed lists, notes from the last conversation if it's someone you already know. And third, and most important, there needs to be a time block in your calendar every single day, 1 to 3 hours or more, consistently. Okay, so that's the layout. What are the actual actions? Let me give you some specific actions you can do and fit into this. First one, 2-letter distribution. I'm going to put a link to that in the comments. This is for when you're talking with your sphere of influence, when you're doing those quarterly calls. This just helps lay out all the names in an order that distributes the names evenly, so you never have too many calls to make in any one week. Remember, if we don't have our CRM up and running, stop, stay in your pajamas, get it done. Another one, a CMA a day. We've had that before in different classes. You should know what it is by now, but basically with your past clients, you're sending them an email with a market report or a market analysis attached, and you're telling them congratulations. Even though the market is a little unsure right now, based on where you were 2 years ago, this has been a great run, and you don't even know if this is as high as their home could go because you're not aware of any improvements they've made. So you want to find that out and you want to see if they have any questions, and you'll be calling them in 2 days. And then call them. We were averaging, I believe, one listing for every 16 of those sent. Another action, the 554, stealing that directly from Tom Ferry. Every single day, talk to 5 people you know. Every single day, talk to 5 people you don't know. And every single day, follow up on 4 old leads. Sound familiar? Then, of course, there's the door knocking pro athlete. Right now, I can't think of a better action for talking to people you don't know than door knocking. It's hard on the phones right now. People aren't answering the phones. Door knocking, they still answer. Most of us at one point or another in our lives wanted to be pro athletes anyway. What is a pro athlete? It's someone who gets paid to work out. Go out door knocking. That's a workout, and you're going to get paid. Talk about a great elevator pitch. When people say, what do you do for a living? You say, well, I'm a real estate pro athlete. What is that? Well, let's chat for a minute. Another action step, have a minimum conversations per day count, a non-negotiable. Every single day, no matter what, I'm going to have a real estate conversation with 2 people. And lastly, one of my favorites is business to business. Can't go into all the details here, but you've probably heard me talk about it. Get out there in your community. There's never been a better time. Hey, I'm a local business. And after the COVID and after the lockdowns and now with this, I don't want to see any more businesses in my community go out of business. And I decided to do something about it. I'm going to start supporting my businesses. So tell me about your dry cleaning, auto repair, coffee shop. Tell me about your clients. Tell me who your favorite customers are. You know what? I get to meet a lot of people moving into the neighborhood who are new to the neighborhood. I'd like to direct them to you before they find some big chain. In the beginning, they'll wonder what the hitch is. You know, what are you really selling? Nothing. I want to support my local businesses. Well, what's in it for you? I'm a local business. If you ever have a referral, I hope you send it to me. But whether you do or don't doesn't change what I'm doing. And that's supporting my local businesses. You visit those businesses once a month. By the 3rd month, they're going to know that there's no other shoe to drop, that you actually care. And you're going to have 50 different people, each of whom have 50 to 500 people in their database, right? Their clients and customers. Talk about megaphones. Okay, now here's the tricky part of all this, right? That was a whole list of actions. I want you to pick one at a time. Pick one thing you're going to do. And again, if your CRM is not completely done, that's it. It's not a choice. That one has to be done. Pick one and do it every single day. Do it consistently, right? Make it non-negotiable. And when you've reached that stage, when you're doing it every day and it's going well, then add one more. No shortcuts, no whining, no passive substitutions. A minimum of 1 hour a day, actively searching for business. By the way, this is not a less is more situation. This is a more is more situation. 2 hours is better than 1, and 3 hours is better than 2. Your entrepreneur business owners, you're probably working 50 to 60 hours a week right now. Imagine spending a couple hours in the morning active lead gen, maybe on the phone with past clients and friends and family. Then later in the day, go out door knocking for 2 hours. Very, very quickly, you'd have to cut back on all that lead gen because you'd have too much business, which is kind of the whole point, isn't it? Remember, what we're going after here is market share. We have a small window, a perfect storm of all the agents who are asleep at the wheel right now. Do not watch this video and then go back to your desk with the hardest working notebook in the office. Commit right now. Go back to your office, put up an old school goal board, right? A big board. Put it outside your office so that it faces everybody walking by. Put 12 boxes on it for each of our 10-day months. We have 12 10-day months. In each box, list a couple of goals. I'm going to have 10 conversations and have 2 appointments in every one of my little months. Put that on the box. And at the end of the 10-day month, put up there what you actually did, right? Make it public. Make it uncomfortable. Then, here's the true challenge I want you to take right now. Send me a pic of that board. Hell, send me a text saying, yes, I'm committed, I'm in. Send me the goals that you're going to put for each of those 10-day months. I'll invite you into a private group online. We're going to just be those of us who've committed this, all making the same commitment to each other and to ourselves. We'll support each other. We'll hold one another accountable. I'm telling you, if you do this, you're going to start the greatest run of real estate you have ever had by growing your market share now during this perfect storm. It's a big opportunity. It's a small window. I can't wait to get your texts.